Yeah, just had a good day of practice and hopefully have a good one today and get ready for Missouri.
Isaiah Joe, just any update on him and prognosis for Saturday possible?
Yeah, I mean, he went through practice, most of practice. He did not go through all of practice. We got to the live segment of stuff, and he had gone to the threshold that Mark wanted him to go to. No increased swelling or anything today. He'll go through not the entire practice today, but we'll go through practice until Mark's looked at the practice plan and kind of pick and choose, what areas, and then we'll just see how he feels tomorrow.
Spot action or would be a possibility, like if the
Yeah, I wouldn't call it spot. I think it'll either be a go or not a go. I think is probably the best way to describe it, Nate. I don't think it'll be play him 12 minutes. It's not gonna. It's gonna be, he's able to go or not to go. And obviously, we're not going to play him 40 minutes if he's available. But it's not some huge minute restriction, if that would be the case.
Say he's a game time decision, or what would you say about his status?
I think probably as soon as he comes in the morning, because it's really right now, Bob. It's kind of about the swelling. So he did something yesterday, and when I first stated, the big thing was there was not an increase in swelling, and then it's how how the individual player feels after going through another practice.
His mindset.
I think his mindset's awesome. I really do. I mean, I think he's shooting on his own, and I think he's excited about getting closer to being able to play.
If you were a betting man, what would you say are the odds he plays Saturday? Or
Honestly, just because I keep saying I'm not a medical, I know what I know and I know what I don't know, and he did get held out of the end of practice yesterday when we started doing our live Missouri Scout stuff. So, and he's probably going to get he is going to get held out of some stuff today as well.
how anxious is he? Kind of like a racehorse ready to,
I think he's excited. I really do. I think it's been good for him to get some practices under his belt, because you want live action of dribble driving and some stuff like that. And so we did some live offensive segments yesterday, which we really haven't done a lot of live stuff just because of the lack of bodies.
Auburn, and they've obviously lost their last two without their Okoro. And I think it underscores how much losing a key guy can mean to a team, even if you have some other good players. Have you missed Isaiah maybe as much or more defensively or offensively? Or where do you think if you've really missed him, and when he is able to come back, where will that really be a boost for you?
Yeah, I think we've missed him in so many different areas. I mean, obviously the natural thing is just shooting. And even on nights that he didn't have great shooting nights, he always drew extra attention. But I do think from a defensive standpoint, he was a guy that was not if you look at our basketball team and fouls per minute, we have some really high fouls per minute players, and he's not one of those guys. And then I also think he does a great job of rebounding for his position. So I think he gives us a lot of things. And but you're right, Bob. Auburn's a little bit different team without a curl, straight up. Alabama's different without Herb Jones, and now he's back playing with the cast on his hand or whatever it is. And in college basketball, when you're missing one of your stars, it changes things dramatically. Look at Memphis. They lose a guy, and they go from aspirations of trying to win a national championship to fighting to try to get in the tournament. So I do think that, you can – a little bit different at the NBA level when you lose a guy because you got tons of talent on an NBA roster. It's just different at the collegiate level for everybody, not just Arkansas.
Performance last time out, kind of something that you might have saw coming from based off practices?
Adrio's done he's done a great job. I thought that obviously he's feeling more and more comfortable as his senior season is winding down as far as shooting the three ball. I mean, if you look at his threes prior to this year and his threes now and where he's at and the percentage that he's shooting, that's what you want. You want players to develop. You want them to get better. Again, we need all of our players and Adriel to rebound better. You know, Adriel went a whole second half without a rebound at Florida, and we need the rebounding. That's, you know, as a player, you got to do what the team needs. That's what we need right now. We've got to have, especially, you know, if we go back to playing more guards together, we've got to rebound at that 5 spot. But he's shooting the ball really well, and his activity at Florida in that first half was awesome.
Reggie only played about 5 minutes, or maybe it was 4 something the other night. Was that more about matchups, or had he been struggling in practice? Well, why did he play so few minutes, and he had such a good game at Missouri? Do you see him being more of a factor this time?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of have told, you know, you guys that, you know, since Isaiah's been hurt, you know, we thought that the 2 bigs, whatever the 2 bigs were going to be, what we call 2 bigs, was going to help. It's hurt us offensively. It hasn't helped us on the glass. We wanted to give Ethan an opportunity. He hadn't started a college basketball game. You know, he started. I thought he did some really good things with his activity, with his second jump is quicker than some of our other guys' first jump. But having said that, he had 5 fouls in 10 minutes. So, you know, what we do at that spot, it could be game by game. It could be giving someone an opportunity and seeing if that guy can turn 5 minutes into 10 minutes. It's been a constant, you know, trying to figure out which guy can supply something for us that equates to a win. You know, I mean, I think certainly there's some matchups that you know, you look at first game, and yeah, I thought Reggie scored the ball pretty well around the basket. I thought he rebounded the ball pretty well. But then on the flip side, Bob, I look at Nico, and I think he had 7 offensive rebounds at the center spot. Well, he only averages 4 rebounds a game, and he had 7 offensive. So, you know, sometimes statistics on a piece of paper can be misleading when you go back and watch film, and we were extremely disappointed that we didn't box out Nico more. 7 rebounds is way too many for him, and so we've got to do a better job collectively as a group to keep him off the glass.
Jalen Harris was such a good factor for you early in the year and seems to be struggling lately. Just kind of what do you do to get him back on his game?
I mean, I don't know what I started, you know, I mean, he's started some games, and, you know, I mean, he gives us pace of play and stuff, but, you know, you look at Missouri, like they've had 2 injuries, right, with Smith and Tillman, and some of their players have kind of risen their game. For instance, Pinson has risen his game. You look at his stats, you look at his minutes. He got extended minutes when Smith went out. He's playing with great confidence. I think Mason has done that. He took more of a scoring load when Isaiah's been out, but then there's been other opportunities for a large number of people on our roster, and when you get those opportunities, you got to try to take advantage of them, and I'm not so sure that we've done that across the board. Like I said, I know that Pinson has, and Drew Smith has become more of a scorer for Missouri. I think Nico's done a really good job when he got an opportunity when Tillman was out. Braun has gotten an opportunity the last 2 games for Missouri, and Braun had 4 blocks the other night. Like 4 blocks is a lot in 20 minutes, and so. You know, when a player goes down, more opportunities open up for people, and then you got to try to produce in those minutes.
Start drawing more stuff up for Jimmy Witt. I know before at the beginning of the season, you didn't really have to draw plays up for him to score, but do you try to do that more now? Just because I know it doesn't seem like you guys have a wealth of scores.
Yeah, you know, Nikki, it's interesting. We went 2 straight games with drawn plays for him. We opened up one of the games couple games ago and went to him really early. I've scrapped that. He seems to just be better off the flow. But your line of thinking was exactly like mine was 2 games ago, because I felt like, you know, he was one of our better scorers, and certainly from a percentage standpoint, it made a lot of sense to do that. But we didn't convert at all. So we're just kind of let him try to get his off, movement and open cracks of the defense and stuff. Because when we used him as a go-to player, it kind of backfired, to be honest with you. And that's on me.
Yeah, Coach, in the 6 games that Isaiah's missed, just where do you think Adro has had kind of the biggest impact? Is the numbers kind of show that he's been a positive when he's on the floor and then kind of slip on both ends when he's out?
Yeah, I think naturally he's gotten. I don't know the numbers. You got the computer in front of you, Scotty, but I'm assuming he's getting 1 to 1.5, maybe more threes. With Isaiah being out with his feet set, and you look at his percentage, and you guys can get here early and watch him pregame, and you're not so sure you'd think he'd be one of our best percentage shooters. But when the lights come on and the popcorn's popping, he has done a good job of converting threes at a higher rate than he probably does behind closed doors in practice. And there are players like that shoot the ball better when the lights go on. And then there's a lot of players that shoot the ball a lot worse when the lights go on. You'd much prefer the guy that can make them when the lights are on than in a dark gym. I just think he's playing with confidence, I guess, is maybe the one thing.
How does Missouri compare now to when you played them last as far as what they look like?
Yeah, I think they're more confident. I thought the game against us, it was obviously an overtime game, could have gone either way. But I think with each game since we've left playing there, they've gotten more and more confident. I think anytime you beat a ranked team, you're going to be really, really confident. And I thought they played well on the road against a great LSU team. And, I mean, right now they're playing as good as anybody over the last, you look at a 4-game sample size, they're playing as well as anyone in the conference right now, and their attitude shows that, and the energy that they play with shows it, and they share the ball on offense, and defensively they do a good job denying and making things difficult on the offensive end for their opponents.
You guys are obviously going through a tough stretch, including at home, and Missouri hadn't won an SEC road game all year. So normally you'd say Arkansas is not the place to try to break when you win your first road game, but you guys have been struggling without Isaiah. Is it kind of one of those, hey, something's got to give? They either got to win a road game or you guys got to break this
Yeah, I mean, we don't really talk to our team about how many games we've won or lost. Like, we hadn't won many games in Florida in a long, it's kind of irrelevant, and right now we have Saturday at noon, we got a 40-minute basketball game that we got to try to win, and Missouri's got to try to do the same thing. So I will say that I've only been in the league obviously a short time, but this is the most confident that the Missouri's played all year is right now in this stretch.
You mentioned the Missouri guys stepping up. Pinson, he's got, I guess, 28 and 32 the last 2 games. He had 24. That was his career high. Now he's just in a couple of weeks, he's got 32. Well, what specifically do you see him doing? Looks like he's getting the foul line a lot. What's impressed you about his play the last month?
Obviously, Pinson, yeah, he's really quick. He can get to the basket, and then he's also a three-point threat. So when you have a guy that can make a three and has a really quick first step, he's playing. Another guy, like, confident-wise, is through the roof right now. And then you add in free throws attempted, and that's how you get 32. Thanks.